What's up, my dudes? Oh my god, look at this, bro. Flames flaming on the 50. Get out of here, dog. Grip color. What are we gonna do? Some damn red, crazy ass grip cover, pink. So let's just go black. Just black that out. Plastics. Oh, baby. Oh yeah. Yeah. Wait, a black? Yes. Yo, I've got the baby demon right here. Okay. What do I have? Equipped, available. Was that stock? I don't know. This has flames on it. We're getting this. Yes. Cha-ching. Okay. Suspension. Hydro, some shit. What was this? Red Baron pizza? Okay, dog. Red Baron pizza suspension. Thank you. Okay, boys, we're doing some 50cc riding on MX vs. ATV Untamed, having some fun. Brake, gyro, gas, yes. Physics, pro, not MXGP Pro, physics. Okay, pro rider select, customized rider. We're all good here, boys. Let's start event. So I thought this would be kind of fun, just hop on there and do a little, look at this shit. Do a little fun 50cc riding. This is the kind of fun stuff you used to be able to do back in the day in motocross games. They don't let you have any more fun in the newer games anymore. No, not any fun like this. Hell, they don't even put two strokes in the newer motocross games. Oh my god, this bike is really small in this game, dude. That is so cool. Wow, that is legit. You can still whip it and everything. Okay, so what's a lot of fun is when you get your buddies on split screen and you're both in here on these 50s going right, racing each other and running into each other and shit. That's when it gets really fun. All right, let's see what we got. Difficulty easy. Boys, we're going to tear them up. Don't worry. Okay, so that's cool how they actually have not only 50cc's in the game, right, but they also have tracks dedicated just to those 50cc bikes. So it actually gives you like, a track that you can race on like this, and it makes sense, and it's actually fun to race on with other people. Because with a 50cc track, it's kind of tricky, but you have to make it in a way to where you can still jump the bike, and there's still a little bit of a challenge to it. But you can't have like normal size jumps, you can't have normal huge jumps and stuff. So it's like definitely a balance there, and I think they captured that pretty well in this game, where they gave you two different Supercross 50cc tracks you can have some fun on. And this is the kind of fun that when you've grinded out like 10,000 laps on a normal Supercross track on a normal size bike, or you've grinded out races on motocross tracks, or whatever you've done, then this is kind of like that little thing you can go just mess around on, kind of give your brain a little bit of a refreshment in the game. Then when you get a little tired of doing this, you go back to doing something else. You hop on a whole different vehicle, or it seems like there was always something to do in these older MX versus ATV games, like reflex and back, right? I think everything after reflex just has not had that same level of like really giving you a lot to do in the game. It just kind of feels a little bit more one-dimensional on some of those newer ones. I think MX vs. ATV All Out certainly has tried to do more of that kind of fun stuff. I was really expecting there to be a 50cc in MX vs. ATV All Out. I'm actually quite surprised that wasn't in there. But hopefully we'll see that in the next one, or they may add that in DLC or some shit like that. I'm not really sure. But, yeah, dog, got the flames rocking. We're fire breathing, dude, now. Don't worry. Okay. Well, I'll go in there and run a race, too. Yeah, let's run a race on this thing. Quit event, yes. But, yeah, really, you guys know I've had some big plans to come in here and play on some of these really old motocross games, which this one's not really old, but I want to go in there and actually do pro. Look at all these. Oh my gosh, you got beginner, junior, novice, intermediate, pro sport, pro am, pro, legendary, all time. They should have another one that says Pastrana, and then another one that says Turley. Just kidding. But they should definitely have another that says Pastrana after that, right? And then that'd be so funny if they did that. Oh my gosh, I'm just surprised how many goddamn friggin' AI skills can you have in a game? Like, good Lord. We'll put them on all time. We'll put the 50cc riders on all time, okay? We'll go to the other track here. Okay. Riders 12. Mini, single start. Okay. What I was trying to get at is I really want to go in there and play some of the super old motocross games, like Motocross Madness. I want to try to figure out a way to get all that on the PC and like really try to record that properly. And there's so many old motocross games. I think a lot of times, it's easy to not really remember all of them, but there's a lot of them, dude. And the first motocross game I ever actually played, believe it or not, was Excite Bike on Nintendo 64. I saw one of you guys comment something about that on my last video. You're like saying, oh, dude, that was like the first game I ever played. Yeah, that was the first one I ever played too. Like way back in the day, like 8 years before I even knew what real life motocross was. I went in there and played Excite Bike on the Nintendo 64. And I remember that so specifically in my mind because I remember being able to actually make the supercross tracks on it. And that was like a mind-blowing. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best game in the history of mankind because you can make a track on it, right? And I remember that back in the day, and it's funny now because I look back on all that and it's like, no footer dog. I look back on all that and, I've made all these tracks for MXM, became like, that's like basically my calling card now, being like a custom track maker and stuff like that. That's what started me on YouTube and everything. And that was literally like my first experience with any motocross game ever was making a supercross track in Excite Bike, Nintendo 64 or whatever the hell back in the day. And making the supercross tracks like that where you kind of put the pieces together and you can build your supercross track. It was crazy that they had that all the way back in the day, but that's the kind of games I want to really go in here and start playing. Some of those older ones, I might have to be a little bit crafty with that, like trying to get an emulator running and then trying to figure out how to record that on PC. It's going to be a little bit tricky to figure out how to do all that, but we'll see if I can do it. I certainly think that'll be a cool thing to have all those older motocross games. Woo! Spence. Getting too gnarly, bro. Getting too gnarly. Got to remember, they're on all time, man. Got to be on the gas, bro. Okay. See. Oh, Lazy Boy. Why am I throwing out Lazy Boys in the middle of the... God dang it. Okay. Alright. Okay. Yeah, the steering on this thing takes you a minute. It's got a bit of a different kind of steering. Your rider feels real top-heavy on it, right? Look at this jump. Oh, my God. Get out the way. Move. Oh, shit. This is just cracking me up. Like, this is what's fun. To all you motocross game makers out there, like, if you don't have a 50cc bike in your game, what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't understand it. Like, pit bike racing it's became a lot bigger of a thing. There's a lot more, like, real life people getting into the, pit bike racing stuff nowadays and have cool little, like pit bike race events and stuff like that at some of these races out here. And it's real funny to see that, cool to see that. I think it's awesome. Well, I'm such a like into motocross so deep kind of guy. Anything with two wheels, like a dirt bike, I think it's cool to race it. It don't matter what it is. Any kind of motorcycle, dirt bike, huge, small, any size, anything, pit bike, super mini, 500 two-stroke. Like, I think it's cool to race all that stuff. I think they're all cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't just restrict it to like your standard size dirt bikes and stuff like that. I think racing retro bikes are cool. I think that's a really interesting thing. And I think that'd be a cool thing to do in MX Simulator. Go back there and race on some of the old dynos, kind of have like a retro race day or something. That would be that would certainly be interesting. Like everybody going on there and getting on a damn the old Suzuki dyno on MX Simulator. That thing was so freaking dominant. I think it was like the RMZ 2011 or something. That was the bike. That was the dyno when I first got into MX Sim. So it'd be interesting to go see everyone race on that again. Like try to get all the pros in there to try to, race on some old dyno or something. But there's just so much you can do with it. I mean, my brain, like, oh my gosh, the amount of ideas I have on a day-to-day basis, it's almost so much that I actually literally think, and I don't want this to sound cocky or something, I've got to learn this friggin' bike here. I don't want this to sound cocky or something, but I actually think I have something different that goes on with my brain that not everyone has, in the sense of like, I get so many freaking ideas constantly flowing through my brain. And I think this is kind of a phenomenon that you get with certain people out there. I've heard like Elon Musk talk about him kind of having that kind of thing go on. Just that very, very creative, mind. And that's how I've been able to come up with these insanity track designs and stuff. And all of that, it's just because I think so far outside of the box that it's like you get this such a unique thing out of me 9 times out of 10. Like you've never even seen it before because I've got my mind in a place that no one's ever even had their mind in before. You see what I'm saying? Because these ideas are just constantly flowing through my brain, and sometimes it's almost like there's so many ideas going through my head that I can't even like wrap my mind around it to even like make something out of it because I've got so many freaking ideas. It's like, I don't know, it's hard to explain that, but you get to a certain creative point where you almost hit a creative block because you've got so many ideas. It's like that's what excites me though, dude. Like I am the absolute creator, like wanting to make stuff kind of guy, like whether it's built. That's why I was so into the building tracks on MX Simulator, because I'm into making things. That's why I'm so into making YouTube videos, because I like to make stuff, man. Anything that has to do with creating anything, there's just something about it. Oh shit, wheelie through the whoops. That is super hard to ride a wheelie on a bike that's this short without falling over, without flipping over. That's kind of crazy, but yeah, I don't know, dude. Hopefully I can get some of these ideas kind of somewhat directed in the right way to where I can actually put them into something and make them into something. Hopefully I can get that going, but there's just so much you can do in this world and in this life. It's just people don't even like I think it's so true when they say that the human brain, most people don't even tap into like 80% of it or whatever. Like we only use like 5 or 10% of our actual brain's capacity or whatever you want to call it. I think that's so true. I honestly do. I think there's so many people in life that just kind of go through life without ever really being all that creative, without ever really allowing their mind to just do what it wants and make what it wants, and like just let those free creative feelings flow through your mind. Don't think you've got to make all this cookie cutter like what the next guy's doing. Try to do as different as you can than all these other people. Try to do the polar opposite. Try to do something no one's ever seen before. Tedesco, shit. And if you do that, people will respect you a lot more in that sense, but also you can actually make something that you'll be remembered by, right? If you're a pioneer, if you're somebody that's really out here doing stuff that's never been done before, like AKA space galaxy tracks in a dirt bike game. I was the first one to ever do that with all my space tracks. I'm remembered for that now, and it's became my entire theme. Switch Turley, all that stuff. Like, I mean, it's just you get remembered for that. And the what's up, my dudes, all this crazy different stuff I do, man. It all comes together to make a brand. You make what you're remembered as and all that stuff. So it's really, really cool. Either way, I'll cut this video off here, not make it, 35 years long. So appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.